Welcome to Cardano for Everyone, a podcast series from Pasta Steak Pool. Each episode explores something new about Cardano in a way that's simple and accessible for everyone. In the mood for some Cardano magic? Let's get started.
Welcome to another deep dive. Today we're going on a journey to explore Cardano
Okay.
and the rise of third-generation cryptocurrencies. It's going to be a wild ride.
The concept of digital cash has been around for decades. Remember David Chaum's eCash in the 90s? But it was Bitcoin that truly changed the game.
Right. For those of us who are still wrapping our heads around all this crypto stuff, can we start with the basics?
Absolutely. At its heart, Bitcoin is decentralized digital cash, meaning it operates independently of any government or financial institution. It's also secure because it uses cryptography for security, making it practically impossible to counterfeit.
Okay, I'm following so far, but I keep hearing about this thing called a blockchain. How does it relate to Bitcoin?
Think of a blockchain as a public ledger that records every Bitcoin transaction. It's not stored in one place, though. Instead, it's distributed across a massive network of computers, making it incredibly secure and transparent. And here's the mind-blowing part. Every computer on the network has a copy of this ledger, so there's no single point of failure.
Wow.
The proof-of-work consensus mechanism comes in. Think of it like a giant digital puzzle. Miners, who are essentially specialized computers on the Bitcoin network, compete to solve complex mathematical problems to validate transactions and add them to the blockchain.
So it's like a race to solve a puzzle, and the winner gets to update the ledger. Sounds like a high-stakes competition.
It is. And for their effort, miners are rewarded with newly created Bitcoins. This process ensures that every transaction is legitimate, but as Bitcoin's popularity exploded, some challenges emerged.
Like what? What kind of problems could something as revolutionary as Bitcoin possibly have?
Well, for one, the proof-of-work system requires a massive amount of energy. Remember all those computers racing to solve puzzles? It's not exactly eco-friendly. Then there's the issue of scalability. Bitcoin can only process a limited number of transactions per second, which can lead to delays and higher fees.
Ah, so even Bitcoin has its limits. Makes sense. I've heard about other cryptocurrencies like Ethereum. Is that trying to address some of these Bitcoin limitations?
Exactly. Ethereum launched in 2015, ushered in the era of second-generation cryptocurrencies. It's important to understand that while Ethereum, like Bitcoin, operates as a digital currency, its native token is called Ether. Its true power lies in its ability to run smart contracts and decentralized applications, or DAC apps.
Wait, hold on. Smart contracts and dApps. You're losing me a little bit here.
Think of smart contracts as self-executing agreements written in code. They automatically enforce the terms of a contract without the need for intermediaries. dApps, on the other hand, are applications built on top of this technology. They're like the apps you use on your phone, but instead of running on a company's servers, they run on a decentralized network, making them more resistant to censorship and control.
So it's like having a whole internet built on blockchain technology. Opens up a world of possibilities.
Precisely. Ethereum really expanded the potential of cryptocurrency, but even it has limitations. So now we're moving into the era of third-generation cryptocurrencies like Cardano that are striving to solve some of these issues and push the boundaries even further.
That's what we're here to explore.
Yes,
Cardano, the ambitious contender to the crypto throne.
definitely ambitious. Cardano was founded in 2015 by Charles Hoskinson, one of the co-founders of Ethereum. Interestingly, right from the start, Cardano distinguished itself with its methodical, research-driven approach.
Methodical.
Right.
So not just throwing spaghetti at the wall and seeing what sticks.
Definitely not. They believe in thoroughly testing and validating every step. That's why Cardano's development is divided into 5 distinct phases.
Okay.
They are meticulously building it layer by layer. It's like constructing a digital skyscraper, carefully laying each foundation before moving to the next level.
Okay, color me intrigued. Let's hear about these 5 phases.
It all began with Byron, the foundation where the basic network was established. Next came Shelley, which focused on decentralizing the network, allowing people to participate in its governance by holding ADA, Cardano's native cryptocurrency.
So with Cardano, it's not just about holding a currency, it's about having a voice in its future. I like that. What came after Shelley?
Next came Goguen, which was all about bringing smart contracts to the platform, opening the door for developers to build those exciting dApps we talked about. Now they're in the basho phase, which is all about scaling the network, making it faster, more efficient, and able to handle a much larger volume of transactions. Finally, on the horizon, we have Voltaire, which focuses on creating a self-sustaining governance system for Cardano, allowing the community to truly guide its evolution.
It's like they're creating a whole digital society, complete with its own constitution and laws.
It's fascinating to see how Cardano is trying to build a system that is not only technologically advanced, but also sustainable and community-driven.
Okay, I'm definitely getting a better picture of what Cardano is all about. But how does it stack up against the big guys, Bitcoin and Ethereum?
It's important to remember that each of these platforms has its own strengths and weaknesses. Think of it like this. Bitcoin is the OG cryptocurrency, the reliable store of value like digital gold. Ethereum is the bustling metropolis, a hub for innovation with its smart contracts and dApps. Cardano, on the other hand, is aiming to be something like a sustainable, interconnected ecosystem built for the long haul, with a focus on real-world applications and empowering communities.
So Cardano wants to be more than just a digital currency. It wants to be a platform for change.
Exactly. And a lot of that hinges on its approach to scalability, sustainability, and interoperability. These are the three pillars that really set Cardano apart.
Okay, I'm ready to unpack those three pillars. Let's start with scalability. What makes Cardano different from Bitcoin and Ethereum in that regard?
Well, Bitcoin, as we mentioned, can only process a limited number of transactions per second. It's like trying to cram everyone onto a single-lane road during rush hour. It just doesn't work efficiently. Ethereum is a bit better, but still faces challenges in handling the huge volume of transactions needed for mainstream adoption. Cardano, however, tackles scalability head-on with its unique consensus mechanism called Ouroboros.
Ouroboros, that's a mouthful. And I thought proof of work was a brain twister.
Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. Ouroboros is also a proof-of-stake system, but unlike Bitcoin's proof of work, which requires enormous amounts of energy, Ouroboros is much more energy efficient and environmentally friendly.
Okay, less energy consumption is always a good thing. But I'm still a bit fuzzy on how proof of stake actually works. Can you break it down for me?
Sure. Instead of miners racing to solve complex puzzles, as in proof of work, proof of stake relies on validators who stake their ADA coins to participate in the process of verifying transactions and adding them to the blockchain.
So instead of expensive mining rigs gobbling up energy, people are essentially putting up their own ADA as collateral to vouch for the legitimacy of transactions.
Exactly. And the more ADA you stake, the higher your chances of being selected to validate a block and earn rewards. Think of it like a lottery where your chances of winning depend on how many tickets you hold. It's a much more democratic and sustainable approach.
That makes a lot of sense. So Cardano is tackling the energy consumption issue and aiming for a more inclusive system where anyone with ADA can participate. Pretty cool. But how does this Ouroboros thing help with scalability? How does it handle more transactions?
That's where it gets even more interesting. Cardano is developing a layer 2 scaling solution called Hydra, which has the potential to process a staggering number of transactions per second, potentially over 1 million.
Wait, did you say 1 million transactions per second? That's mind-blowing. How is that even possible?
Think of it this way. Hydra allows for parallel transaction processing. Instead of all transactions being processed on the main blockchain, Hydra creates smaller interconnected EDs that can process transactions independently and then merge them back onto the main chain. It's like adding express lanes to a highway, allowing for a much higher throughput of traffic.
So it's like creating a network of mini blockchains that can work in parallel to handle all those transactions.
You got it. And that kind of scalability is essential for Cardano to achieve its vision of a globally adopted platform. They're not just aiming for a faster version of Bitcoin or Ethereum. They're building a system that can handle the demands of a truly decentralized future.
That's incredibly ambitious. Okay, I'm starting to see why there's so much excitement around Cardano. We've covered scalability and sustainability. Now, what about this third pillar, interoperability? What does that mean in the context of cryptocurrencies?
Interoperability is all about breaking down the walls between different blockchains. Right now, most blockchains are like isolated islands, unable to communicate or share data with each other. Cardano, however, is being designed from the ground up to be interoperable, meaning it can seamlessly connect and interact with other blockchains.
So Cardano wants to be a bridge between different crypto ecosystems. I can see how that would be incredibly valuable in a world where so many different blockchains are emerging.
Absolutely. It's like creating a universal translator for the crypto world. Imagine being able to transfer value or data between different blockchains without any hassle. That would open up a whole new level of flexibility and innovation in the crypto space.
Okay, I'm officially on board with this interoperability thing. Cardano seems to be checking all the boxes. Scalability, sustainability, and now interoperability.
Mm.
It sounds like they are really trying to build the ultimate platform for the future of finance.
They are. And what's even more impressive is that they're doing it in a transparent and community-driven way. While Cardano has immense potential, it's still early days, and there are some hurdles to overcome.
Well, let's dive into those challenges.
One of the main challenges Cardano faces is achieving the level of adoption necessary to truly test its scalability and interoperability claims. Right now, the network isn't handling anywhere near 1 million transactions per second because, well, there isn't that much activity yet.
So it's a bit of a chicken and egg situation. They need widespread adoption to prove their scalability, to gain widespread adoption.
Exactly. It's a challenge many new blockchain projects face. Building the infrastructure is one thing, but attracting users and developers to build on it is quite another.
That makes sense. It's like building a state-of-the-art highway in the middle of nowhere. It might be a marvel of engineering, but it won't reach its full potential until there are enough cars on the road.
And then there's the competition. The crypto landscape is constantly evolving, with new projects emerging all the time. Cardano needs to continue to innovate and differentiate itself to stay ahead of the curve.
So it's not enough to just build a better mousetrap. They need to convince the world that their mousetrap is the one everyone needs.
And that's where their focus on real-world applications comes in. They're targeting areas like supply chain management, identity verification, and voting systems where blockchain technology can offer significant advantages over traditional methods.
Okay, so let's shift gears a bit and talk more about how Cardano compares to Bitcoin and Ethereum. We've touched on some of the key differences, but can we dig a little deeper?
Let's start with their fundamental purpose. Bitcoin, as we discussed, was primarily designed as a digital currency, a store of value like digital gold. Ethereum expanded on this by becoming a platform for decentralized applications and smart contracts, opening up a world of possibilities for developers. Cardano aims to combine these elements while prioritizing sustainability and interoperability.
So it's trying to be the best of both worlds. A reliable store of value like Bitcoin and a versatile platform for dApps like Ethereum.
Precisely. And as we mentioned earlier, their choice of consensus mechanism is a key differentiator. Bitcoin's proof of work is energy intensive, while both Ethereum and Cardano have moved towards proof of stake, which is significantly more environmentally friendly.
Yes, we talked about how Cardano's Ouroboros system uses staking instead of mining to validate transactions. But are there any other notable differences between their proof of stake implementations?
While both Ethereum and Cardano use proof of stake, Cardano takes a more academically rigorous approach. Their Ouroboros protocol is based on years of peer-reviewed research and formal verification methods, which are essentially mathematical techniques used to ensure the correctness and security of software.
So Cardano's taking a more academic and mathematically rigorous approach to their blockchain security. That's pretty interesting.
It is. They want to create a system that is not only secure in practice, but also provably secure in theory. They believe this foundation will make Cardano more resilient to attacks and bugs in the long run.
Okay, I'm starting to appreciate the level of thought and detail that has gone into Cardano's development. Now, when it comes to smart contracts, we know Ethereum was the trailblazer. Are there any key differences between their approaches?
There are some important distinctions. Ethereum's smart contract language, Solidity, is relatively easy to learn and use, which has contributed to its widespread adoption among developers. Cardano's Plutus, however, is based on Haskell, a more academically oriented language known for its mathematical rigor and emphasis on correctness.
So Cardano is sacrificing a bit of ease of use for increased security and reliability.
They believe that the added complexity of Haskell will ultimately lead to more robust and secure smart contracts, reducing the risk of vulnerabilities and exploits that have plagued other blockchain platforms.
So it's like choosing between a quick and easy DIY project and a carefully engineered architectural masterpiece. One is faster to build, but the other is likely to stand the test of time.
Exactly. And this focus on robustness and security is a recurring theme in Cardano's design philosophy. They're playing the long game, building a platform they believe will be more sustainable and resilient in the face of future challenges.
That makes a lot of sense. Now, another key difference we discussed earlier is Cardano's emphasis on interoperability. It wants to be able to communicate and share data with other blockchains. How does that compare to Bitcoin and Ethereum's approaches?
Bitcoin, being the first cryptocurrency, was not designed with interoperability in mind. Ethereum has made some strides in this area with projects like Polkadot and Cosmos aiming to connect different blockchains. However, Cardano has interoperability baked into its core design.
So it's not an afterthought, it's a fundamental part of their vision.
Precisely. They believe that a truly decentralized future will require seamless communication and collaboration between different blockchain networks. They envision a world where different blockchains can interact like different applications on your computer, seamlessly sharing data and value.
Okay, that's a pretty compelling vision. It sounds like they're trying to break down the silos that currently exist in the crypto world and create a more interconnected and collaborative ecosystem.
And this interoperability focus extends beyond just technical considerations. They're also working on building partnerships and collaborations with governments, NGOs, and other institutions to explore real-world applications of blockchain technology in areas like identity management, land registries, and supply chain tracking.
So they're not just focused on the tech itself, they're also thinking about how it can be used to solve real-world problems and create a more equitable and transparent society.
Yes. And that brings us back to one of Cardano's key strengths, its focus on social impact. They're not just trying to build a faster or more efficient blockchain, they're trying to build a platform that can empower individuals and communities, especially in developing countries.
I'm really intrigued by this aspect of Cardano. Can you give me some concrete examples of how they're using blockchain technology for social good?
One of the most exciting projects is their work in Ethiopia, where they're partnering with the Ministry of Education to create a blockchain-based system for student and teacher identification and credential verification.
Wow, so they're using blockchain to create a more secure and transparent education system that could have a huge impact on the lives of millions of students.
Exactly. And it's not just about education. They're also working on projects in areas like agriculture, healthcare, and financial inclusion, using blockchain to address challenges and empower communities in developing countries.
It's incredible to see how blockchain technology can be used not just for financial innovation, but also for social good. It's like a whole new toolbox for tackling some of the world's most pressing problems.
And Cardano is at the forefront of this movement, leveraging its technological innovations and its commitment to social impact to create a more equitable and sustainable future.
Okay, I'm completely blown away by everything we've learned about Cardano so far. They've got the tech, the vision, and the commitment to social impact. But what does all this mean for the average person? Why should someone who's not a developer or a crypto enthusiast care about Cardano?
Here's why Cardano matters, even if you're not deeply immersed in the crypto world. It represents a potential shift in how we think about and use money and technology. Imagine a world where financial services are accessible to everyone, regardless of their location or background.
Imagine a world where you have a real say in how the systems you use are governed.
And it's a future that's closer than you might think. We're already seeing the early stages of this transformation with the rise of decentralized finance, or DeFi.
DeFi, that's another one of those crypto buzzwords I keep hearing. What exactly does it mean, and how does Cardano fit into the picture?
DeFi aims to recreate traditional financial services like lending, borrowing, and trading, but on a decentralized blockchain platform. This cuts out the middlemen like banks and gives individuals more control over their finances.
This is like taking the power back from the big institutions and putting it into the hands of the people.
Exactly. And Cardano, with its focus on security, scalability, and interoperability, is well positioned to become a major player in the DeFi space.
That makes sense. But let's be realistic for a moment. Cardano is still a relatively new player in the crypto world. Are there any concerns or potential downsides that people should be aware of before diving in?
While Cardano has a lot of potential, it's important to remember that no technology is without its risks. The platform is still under development.
But even with those risks in mind, it seems like Cardano's doing a lot of things right. They're tackling some of the biggest challenges in the crypto space with a thoughtful and methodical approach.
They are, and their commitment to peer-reviewed research and transparency sets them apart from many other projects in the space. They're not just making promises, they're backing them up with a solid science and engineering.
I have to say, I'm pretty impressed with what I've learned about Cardano today. It's not just another cryptocurrency, it's a platform with a vision for a more equitable and sustainable future.
It is, and it's exciting to see how they're using blockchain technology to address real-world challenges and empower individuals and communities around the globe.
So for our listeners who are now eager to learn more about Cardano, where should they start? What are some good resources for diving deeper into this fascinating world?
Cardano's official website is a great starting point. They have a wealth of information about the project, including technical documentation, white papers, and community forums. The crypto world is full of opportunities, but it's important to approach it with caution.
Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive into Cardano and third-generation cryptocurrencies. It's been an incredibly insightful and thought-provoking conversation. And for our listeners, we hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and inspired you to explore the world of Cardano and the transformative potential of blockchain technology. Until next time.
Thank you for being part of Cardano for Everyone. We hope you gained something valuable from today's episode. If you'd like to support our mission of making Cardano knowledge accessible for all, consider selecting Pasta from the pool list when you delegate. Every bit of support helps us bring more content to listeners like you. Until next time, keep exploring, keep learning, and we'll see you on the next episode.